Welcome to my channel. It's your boy Beast Mode Fitness and Gaming, aka Crushing Your Soul. Today, we're going to be going over the new footage that came out since, of course, tomorrow, as I upload this video, would be the next day, is Tuesday, the new update, the new season of Apex Legends, which I'm excited for. The firing range is superb. It's amazing. I'm going to be spending a lot of time in there, which is great because R5 doesn't really, play well on my computer. So that being said, I'm going to have a lot of fun in the new firing range and I'll be spending a lot of time, just focusing on my movement and my gameplay. Now, without further ado, we are going to get into a video that was posted by Rain Day on YouTube, and all credit goes out to him on this video, and of course, Apex from EA and Respawn. All credit to them. Um, there was some early gameplay that was released where they got to play in the firing range and they had some of the creators answering questions and talk about it. We're just going to kind of go over that video and kind of react to it. Without further ado, if you enjoy any of the content that you see today, please hit that sub button and hit that like button. It helps out the algorithm. It sends me and shoots me forward to help me grow my channel. Without further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at the video. All right, now here we are at the actual video. So this is the new gameplay that is actually in the firing range, and I'm going to pause it here and there and just kind of throw my input in on, the important things that I see.
We added things like allowing dummies to strafe, move, even shoot back at you.
Okay.
And Jeff can talk a bit about the areas he added.
Absolutely. We just looked kind of holistically at what we wanted the firing range to do, and Josh kind of talked about that a bit. But it's a place to just kind of come in, warm up, self-improve, test out features in the game, test out legends and weapons.
Okay. So there are multiple like railways, not multiple, I take that. It's just one. It seems like one complete one that goes around the whole firing range. So that being said, I mean, it's hard for the new map to be able to have any type of actual training with the, like movement on the zip lines, being able to utilize the zip lines because there's no way you can replicate that. So that's a plus. Let's continue watching.
And test out how to move in the game and really familiarize yourself with the game. And it's also a place to just kind of like hang out with your friends and self-improve, test out features in the game, test out legends and weapons. And test out how to move in the game and really
just look at how much different the firing range is. So as you can see right here where my mouse is, that's where the hill is, where you slide down. Like when you load in and you slide down, that's the original little area, and they changed it up. So as you can tell, they don't have the racks. They're more like laid out on a table now, and like all your like armors and weapons and stuff are kind of laid out. You got your targets, and you have all these zip lines over here, as well as your area where you did get your ultimate, and you can see how the railing just goes around the whole map. This is awesome. You can see all the different types of targets that are just everywhere. It's crazy.
familiarize yourself with the game, and it's also a place to just kind of like hang out with your friends and kill time. So we felt that the firing range, as it currently stood, wasn't really doing as much justice to those goals as we kind of hoped. So
I agree. Okay,
we really tried to expand on it. So
this is the tech tunnel.
We redesigned sort of the whole core.
So this is an easy area to be able to practice like mantle jumps. You should be able to practice mantle jumps on these zips and everything right here. I'm not. You can probably practice the mantle jump on the first one that they came up, but you'll be able to actually just. I'm talking about like zip movement. This is crazy. This is new. This is like a game changer.
Loot and how that was set up and how that was organized and made sure that everything's at your fingertips. We also created some new things that help you get loot anywhere that
All right, just look at this. Okay, look at the buildings. Like, just imagine your 1v1s. I know they got a 1v1 pit. So if you didn't know that, they have the 1v1 pit. It looks to be about right there where my mouse is over there to the, the far other way. Wait, wrong way. There we go. Over there in that corner. You see it? It's around over there. But these buildings, look at the doors. So, because as we all know, playing doors and fighting in eight is it's it's a tech in itself. You're learning how to play the doors, open the door, shoot. So this is going to be a game changer for like the 1v1s. It's crazy. As you can see, you see the balloon here, the redeploy, zip, like so you, to go to place. So you gotta just imagine how big this is.
That you're standing in the firing range. You can
Yeah.
go up to
Just
these new
look at
like
it. It's
loot
amazing.
caches and grab those. So we've really expanded a lot on just like the core concept of what we hope the firing range would accomplish, and then in terms of just like the world, we expanded. You know, the back is like this whole area we're calling the training grounds, which is this sort of like small size point of
Okay, so
interest
this is where you
where
can
you can
actually
fight
practice
dummies in
your
there, and you
movement
can
in
do a
here.
bunch of combat loops through there,
Yeah, look
and
at
really
it.
just sort of like get a feel for what more of
Playing
a POI
windows.
scenario might feel.
So you can do it in playing windows, doorways, and this place is and it's got places for you to play buildings in the firing range. It's amazing, man. R5, we we don't need you anymore.
Feel like you can also just like fight your friends in there as well.
Look at that.
And then to the left of that, we've created just an area for basically for like 1v1
Okay,
dueling
so
to
this
figure
is
out
the
who's got the best
1v1s.
wingman in the West, best wingman in the Outlands. So it was kind of fun for us. We took what we saw a lot of our community was using for one-on-ones, were these rocks, these certain concrete blocks, and we actually kind of incorporated that into what we're calling the dual pit. So that kind of like headshot strafey block setup still exists, but we've sort of added to it and added.
Okay, so they kept the original concept. So the area that most people 1v1 in, they kind of kept that same concept, but they kind of made it, I guess, fair. One huge pit, so it's different. I mean, it's the same but different, but more cover to play off of and more areas to kind of like move. Because with all the techniques of the legends, you're going to be able to like practice everything, like using your ults, like using your favorite characters. There's no more of this. Oh, we have to use the same character, the same gun. You literally can pick up what you want and just waltz into the dual pit and just 1v1, man. Now the only bad thing is there's still only going to be you can still only have up to three people into the firing range. So they haven't maximized that. So you can't like 3v3 your friends or anything like that. So still, but you can practice 2v1s, 1v1s. I mean, that's a possibility.
A few more things. And then the other major addition
There we
is
go.
what we're calling just like the agility course. And this was really about familiarizing yourself with sliding, crouching, grabbing zip lines, getting to high places, chaining zip lines, doing zip cancels, all that kind of fun stuff. We've also included some jump pads in there as well. And then you can experiment with, there's a zip rail also at the rear of the course. So we've added a lot of stuff and really built it in a way where we're just looking at like core loops and
Dude, the
flow and making sure.
possibilities are endless when it comes to 1v1s and like just the movement tech itself. It's crazy. This is insane. And this is just a firing range, guys. This isn't a map or anything. It's literally just a firing range.
That it just really feels good to move around the space. Like I said before, we added a bunch of areas to really test just the core basics of the game, right? We
Okay,
wanted
so
this
look at
to
the
be
dummies. Look at the target area.
if you're in over your head and the game, there's a lot of stuff to learn in Apex, right? It's a pretty deep game. So we wanted this area, like the firing range, to sort of incorporate a lot of that stuff and teach you the bare basics, and you can kind of work it out in a low risk, low impact zone, right?
Okay. So as you can see here, there's some respawn dummies. That being said, what I mean by that is that they randomly respawn, automatically respawn throughout the map. I'm guessing wherever you are. that are just going to pop up and can strafe and shoot back at you. So while you're moving, you can just have like practice like random shooting random enemies, and I mean it's crazy the possibilities here.
A lot of the things we added kind of on the front was we created this whole new firing range settings panel where you can go in, you can edit dummy behavior. We created this whole new auto spawning dummy system. So not only are you just like limited to the 4 dummies or whatever that are in front of you, but now there's a couple that are fixed in place, and then there's a bunch that use this new system that just spawn all around, and you can kind of play with those settings, right? So you can play with their shield levels, play with their behavior, decide whether or not they shoot back at you, decide how far away they spawn. And you can kind of incorporate that with just like a bunch of different training exercises that you're trying. And you know, we've also sort of expanded on that where you can actually flip them into like full combat mode now. So before that used to sort of be like a hidden Easter egg, and we've just incorporated it into the actual range itself. So you can turn on full combat mode, and the dummies will actually turn on like complete behavior and start chasing you and having fights with you. So it's a really good way to practice just shooting and strafing and all that kind of stuff.
The difficulty settings are mostly around accuracy of how dangerous they are. Yeah, we don't quite have them at ACO level. A few of us are, but as Jeff said, yeah, you can basically cycle through easy, medium, hard, which.
Okay, so they have levels of how hard it is, how hard the dummies, you know, whether they move or shoot back. So that's good. So you can start off easy and medium, hard, and then if they have anything beyond hard, that'd be amazing. That being said, I mean, like I said, the possibilities, even if you're in there by yourself, possibilities are there to get better at the game.
Which determine how accurate they are and how much you need to dodge, how much you need to hide. And then also there's full combat mode where they just chase you down. And that's really fun to play around with.
Wait, full combat mode. I know I heard him say that, but full combat mode where they just chase you down. They're not just strafing, they chase you down. Imagine like 20 dummies just randomly chasing you through the map. You can practice your tech, them shooting at you like you're weaving your wall bounces, your b-hops, your strafes to try to, you know, avoid getting shot. Oh, this is gonna be awesome. I'm gonna be on that level like Ace and Fade and all of them before I know it. I mean, it's gonna take a lot longer, but I'm gonna get there. This is a plus. There's a lot. This is gonna bring a lot of people to the game.
The new town that Jeff made at the back, you know, you're basically playing your own mini horde mode. You can bring your friends in there. It's a great warm up and just kind of a little mini game we've created. Absolutely. So the main area you see at the bottom of the hill remains basically unchanged. The goal there remains have access to all the weapons, practice a bit of looting, inventory management, and face off against those 3 core dummies. The 3 new areas I'll go through in turn. The first one is that town I mentioned, which is straight at the back, and that's meant to allow you to fight dummies in a more realistic game scenario. So you've got windows, doors, buildings, elevation changes, and a dynamic dummy system that spawns them wherever you're looking. So you can be on the move, they'll spawn at the perfect distance right in front of you. When you go to your right, what you'll see is an advanced movement area, and that's a bunch of our movement tech all put together, and you can make your own routes through there, practice the basics of ziplining, things like that, or really advanced movement, which I know, if you look on YouTube, you can see all sorts of tutorials for that stuff. The goal is a safe place to practice that. And then on the left, it's a formalized dueling area, and that's where you and your friends can have repeatable duels. A feature we added recently was that when you die, you just respawn on the spot with full health, so that should make that a little bit easier. And it's just a more consistent and symmetrical place where you can have fair duels in a controlled environment. One of my favorite memories from that area is jumping around with 2 of my friends, playing with a throwing knife from Gun Game. We had a free-for-all there. It was a ton of fun. Zip lines everywhere. Yeah, it's a cool, just sort of open space, sandboxy space that you can use to create your own little mini games with your friends. We've been talking about this for a long time. The firing range, as you mentioned, has been remained, for a while unchanged since launch. But actually, this is the second round of changes we made to the firing range.
Right.
The first round went out in the previous season, where we added some of these customization options, like allowing the dummies to strafe, change.
All right, so you can see the possibilities of the fighting in the actual buildings. It is, I know I said this multiple times, but this is a game changer, like for real.
Their shield level. And so with season 17, we have the now Jeff's map update and a few more options added to the dummies. So this has been a long time coming, and we've been sort of breaking apart and drip feeding these changes over the course of a few seasons. And that represents for us really a commitment to just keep watching how people use the space, trying to perfect it and improve it. So don't expect this to be the final changes. We have a commitment to keep making this space a useful one for players to use to drill and train on the game. Right now, the dummies can only simulate weapons, using weapons, firing back at you. We haven't really simulated player abilities yet. That's a kind of a trickier problem to solve. How do you train them to use those effectively? But that's something we're considering, because we do have an auto player system that is developing the ability to use legend abilities well. So that's something we could integrate into the range if we find people really want that kind of experience.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that I have a favorite area per se, but one of the things we really focused on in development, and I kind of touched on it earlier, was making sure that everything kind of like links together and there's really good like core loops through the whole place. So what we found pretty quickly was that once you kind of jump in, you sort of lose yourself and you lose a lot of time just playing around. And that was something that we really wanted to hit home, was just like, can you come in here and enjoy the space for, a good amount of time and actually really have fun in here and use all kind of aspects of the space and feel like you're really moving through the whole area. And I think we did a really good job at accomplishing that.
Yeah, I'll echo what Jeff said. This feature, I found myself spending a lot of time on this feature just because I jump in to try something new and I just lose half an hour.
That being said, this is crazy. I know tomorrow when I get online, which I will be online 9 to 10 p.m. Central Time on Twitch, streaming. Half of my time is going to be in the firing range, and the other half is going to be doing the progressional matches for rank to see where I can start my solo queue rank journey, which I made diamond this past season. It's alright, casual, But this is amazing. I'm really enjoying this. These changes are just great.
Just playing with all the new stuff. Yeah, one of my favorite things we added actually was a tool that allows you to change your inventory on the fly. It was something that came up organically.
Okay, so what these are, they're like loop ins, pretty much like a death box, but instead they're just randomly placed all over the map, and you click in and you can grab all your loot. So there's no need to grab a Loba and like throw a ult down to get loot, or try to like have to go run and get a different weapon. You can literally go in, grab whatever you need, no limits, no nothing, in the supply bin. It's, like I said, like I keep saying, a game changer.
And to this idea of just the team playing with the new firing range themselves, we would identify the things that we found frustrating and were pain points for us. And people on the team, this was an engineer who came up with this just sort of overnight. He made this, no one really asked him to make it, but it was a modified death box in a way that just allows you to pick any item in the game, and we can place those anywhere we want in the firing range. So you don't have to go back to that original suite of guns to change your loadout. You can be in any one of these new areas we're discussing, and immediately pick your loadout, and it intelligently selects from attachments that are applicable to what you have right now in your inventory. So that's one of those really nice things that just was the team coming together, people using the range, people finding problems, and just coming up with really creative solutions.
I think we really keep a close eye on our community and what they gravitate towards and what they really like, and some of the behaviors that they recycle and repeat. And so we knew we wanted to have a space for 1v1s, like I said, to prove who has the best wingman against your friends and stuff like that. Like, that's always fun to have. And we just thought, it would be sort of a nice little flourish or little note to actually just include those two blocks that people use to 1v1 all the time. But that being said, it's a big space, and you can kind of just fight your friends wherever. So
This is crazy.
yeah.
It's crazy good.
Just wanted to say, for us, it is a balance between looking at what the community is doing, trying to service that, but give them tools to do more cool stuff. And that's really another guiding principle behind this. We didn't want to prescribe to people, here's how you have to use it. You have to do these things in this order. We saw that the community is really creative.
Well, that's pretty much the end of the footage. I mean, the changes are just great. I see a ton of players getting a lot better. This is an opportunity for me to actual play with my, my viewers and everything as well, or teammates. This is gonna be a great. But without any more babbling on about it, but this was the content that was uploaded, the early content. I'm new to these type of videos and this type of content. I'm trying to grow my channel, so please bear with me on my dialogue not being the best, or just the layout itself, you know. But I'm gonna try to do more. Please comment if you enjoyed this type of content. I'll try to do it for more other videos about Apex, anything really, whether it's bodybuilding, college football, NFL, um, Apex, and maybe if there's another game that's coming out and you want me to kind of like do a review on it, please let me know in the comments below. Hit that sub button. Please hit the like button as well, and check out my other social medias as well. My TikTok, my Twitch, Crushing Your Soul on Twitch. I also play with viewers all the time. Um, the only time I don't is when I'm playing like solo queue ranked, which I still either warm up with my viewers and play until I'm warmed up and go to rank, or I get off ranked early and play with them at the end. So please check me out sometimes. If you enjoyed this type of content, once again, please hit that subscribe button and like the video as well. And without further ado, I'll see you in the next video. Deuces, peace, and love.